Hi everyone. I'd like to share this altered canvas with you, and this was inspired by the funky images, if you want to call them that, by Graphic45, and this is the Steampunk collection. If you'll recognize this little guy here and then this little guy here, they are from the Steampunk collection by Graphic45, and I wanted to make an altered project, and I thought, this canvas would be perfect. This canvas is an 8x10 canvas, and I wanted to play with something that I hadn't used in a while, and this is the Liquitex molding paste. And what I did was I took the Tim Holtz gadget gears and I cut them in chipboard. But you know how you have the negative space of the chipboard? Well, I threw it away because it got kind of grungy looking. But what I did was I just placed it over the canvas. Then I took the molding paste and just, I used a plastic knife and I just spread that molding paste over, and I did it kind of thick. You can see that. It's kind of thick on there. And then I just left it and let it dry. Once it dried a little bit, but not completely, then I peeled the chipboard off of it and I shaped it a little bit better because it didn't take really well. Because as you know, when you use that die, all of these little pieces are cut separate. So then I had to adhere them to the canvas with just this repositional glue, and then so it didn't take really well, so I had to go back and reshape it, but I really like the way it turned out. That was fun to do, and I'll probably be doing that more often. Then once that was completely dry, I took my Tim Holtz Distress Embossing ink, and if you're familiar with this paper, there's a lot of hot air balloons and stuff. So I remembered this stamp set that I had by Kaiser Craft, and it has these hot air balloons. So I took them and I stamped them with the embossing ink onto the canvas, and then I used some clear ultrafine embossing powder on them. Then on this one down here, I used this little yellow bicycle stamp set, and I used the Explore, and I heat embossed it using white embossing powder. So once that was all set, all I had was the balloons, the Explore, and the gadget gears. I went ahead and I took my craft paint in a black glossy paint, and then I painted the entire canvas and made sure to get inside the gears with the black. And then once that was dry, then I took this Old Ivy folk art paint and went over it, and I took my sponge brush and I went over it with the green in different directions and made sure I left brush strokes because I thought that looked pretty cool, and went over the entire canvas, even on the sides. And then once that was dry, I took the Italian sage and went over it as well. Same way. Different brush strokes, different directions and stuff. And then once that was completely dry, then I took a baby wipe and went over all of the embossed areas and took the paint off of it because the embossing will resist the paint. So then I took the paint off of there. And then once I did that, then I took my jet black Stays On ink, and I used this Tim Holtz Urban Grunge stamp set, and I used the script stamp, and went over it in random places and just stamped the script. Some of it took really well and some of it didn't. And I think that just added to the grunginess of this canvas. And then, after I did that, I took my Starburst stains in the golden sleigh bells. Has a a really nice gold shimmer. And I went over the entire canvas. And it's a little bit hard to tell. If you get it just right, you can see that gold shimmer on there. Then what I did was I took my rub and buff in Spanish copper, put some on my finger, which it's still there, put some on my finger, and then I went over the raised areas on the gears, and then like up in here, just in some random spots, and added that. And then once I did that, then I took the paper and I did some fussy cutting. And I cut out this little guy right here. And he has a black crow sitting on his head. So then I took the black crow, just the crow, and I heat embossed it with Udi. And he curled up. And when I went to straighten him out, it cracked. Because those of you who have used Udi know that Udi will crack. And I thought that just added to the grunginess of this canvas. So then what I did with this little guy, I added Mod Podge of both front and back. And then I adhered him to the canvas with Mod Podge. So he's very flat, has no dimension, but the crow does. See that? The crow does. And then on this guy, what I did was I took some... it's this metal sheet of stuff. I don't know what it is. It's just a metal sheet. And I cut out the little, what is that, like a propeller sort of? I cut that out of that metal stuff. And then I took the rub and buff and rubbed it over it so there wouldn't be a shiny silver. So it's got a copper sheen to it. And then this guy, I put Mod Podge on him. On all of it, on the back. And then on the hand, I did it on the front. And then on him, I did it on the front. And then he is popped on off the canvas with dimensional stickers. The hand is adhered directly onto the canvas. But this has dimensional stickers. So that kind of gives it different dimension throughout the canvas. So, I love the way it turned out. It was, like I said, it probably took me a couple of hours to do it because there was a lot of drying time. Although I did get impatient and use my heat tool a little bit. But for the most part, it took about 2 hours to put it all together. This was pretty thick, so it took some time to dry. And then I just added this little Tim Holtz spinner right there. And that's my altered canvas. Lots of fun, and hope to keep different projects coming and different ideas and stuff. And I will always try to, explain what I did and stuff. And because I know when I watch videos, I really appreciate when you give a little bit of explanation as to what you're doing and stuff. I haven't quite mastered the editing, so I didn't do a video of me actually working on it, but maybe I'll get that figured out and we can start doing videos that way. But just another closer look at that. I did take my black paint along the edges in some places, and so that was fun. I love the way it turned out. Look at all that dimension. Looks like he's actually flying. So let me know what you think. And thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.